Hi, and welcome back to hashtag My Pirate Body Week. Today we're here with Luke, and Luke is going to talk a bit about fad diets. So can you tell us about what a fad diet is?
So a fad diet is a regimen that often promises some unrealistic claims, whether that's related to health, nutrition, exercise, weight loss, longevity, and many other areas.
Okay. And so why would that not be an ideal diet to follow?
That's a great question because oftentimes these diets emphasize some very unhealthful behaviors, whether that's related to diet or exercise. Oftentimes they may omit certain food groups that yield a lot of health benefit, and omitting certain food groups may also limit nutritional intake and may cause higher risk for nutritional deficiencies. As well as associated with that, a lot of the changes that are done with them are more short term, and they're not necessarily changes that can be held on for long term. So these drastic short term changes may result in some anticipated outcomes very short term, but oftentimes, let's say weight loss, for example, someone may lose a significant amount of weight, very immediately, but oftentimes your body will try to pull us back up, almost like that yo-yo dieting philosophy. And when we're losing weight, we're losing more than just fat. We're losing a lot of water tissue, we're losing a lot of muscle tissue as well. And following that weight loss, if we're gaining a lot of weight back immediately, that may not be necessarily the most favorable amount of weight. Maybe it's more towards fat tissue, and that decrease inside of muscle tissue may negatively impact health outcomes as well as basal metabolic rate. And then as well, more on the psychological end of things, these sort of diets oftentimes emphasize kind of like the perfect body image or the perfect stereotype, or certain outcome for individuals to pursue, which isn't always necessarily appropriate for each individual.
And so I would imagine that those are some of the ways that you can identify a fad diet.
Exactly.
Something quick. Yeah.
Exactly. And there are more ways to identify a fad diet. That's definitely one thing. One of the biggest things is related to whether it be, it sounds too good to be true. So it promises unrealistic claims in a very short period of time that may not be necessarily consistent with what you would hear from a healthcare provider. So that's often one area. It may be an advocate for certain program, service, product, from whoever's pushing that out. So for example, let's say fad diet A is like, well, along with our fad diet, you have to take this nutritional supplement because that's going to guarantee that you're going to lose weight, that your exercise performance is going to improve, et cetera, et cetera. As well as that, it may lack a lot of scientific research inside of their claims. Maybe they won't have any citations included with that, which is of course a big red flag. And then as well, they often identify good foods or good behaviors, and then bad foods and bad behaviors lists. So they kind of draw a line in the sand and create these two categories, which isn't always necessarily consistent for every individual.
Okay, and so what would be some better approaches?
That's a great question. So I will be a little biased saying this as a registered dietitian, but anyone that wants to pursue some changes in these areas, I definitely encourage you to seek the help of a registered dietitian. And luckily, we have two on campus that are free consultations for students. But as well, so pursuing services through registered dietitians, through healthcare providers is going to be very important because you're going to get evidence-based practices that are going to be more personalized to you, more consistent to you, because of course, we're all different people. We have different bodies, we have different beliefs, we have different cultures, food preferences, different medical history. So there's several factors that kind of indicate that, there's not one size fits all with the diet.
Right, very true. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, please step back in and see some of our videos for hashtag My Pirate Body Week. Thank you.